Hello, hello, CraftingMantis here, and welcome back to another episode on the Obsidian Order. So today I'm going to be working on the skeleton farm, which is right over there. The skeleton farm's already done, but I'm going to work on the decoration that's going to be going up here on top. So what this is going to be, I laid this out so I can kind of get an idea of, how it's going to get set up. But this is going to be a dragon skull. Now, I had ended up designing two different dragon heads for the dragon over on the Realm of Aston. And one of them ended up too big. And I think it is going to work absolutely perfect right here. So that is what we are going to be working on here. But let's go ahead and drop down. This ended up really, really low. I think the actual spawner was at like level 23. So, very far down. But yeah, so I've got, just really standard, simple kind of, building in here. And so I've also ended up putting smokers and the blast furnaces here so that while I AFK, in this room here, then I can go ahead and, just kind of smelt some stuff up. As you can see, I've already been doing some AFKing and stuff. So, that way I have enough supplies for the skull up on top. But yeah, you just basically go into this room and there's an auto killer that is, right up above. And so we end up getting arrows and bones. And so we got plenty of storage for that. But the biggest thing is going to be getting the actual skull up on top. Because I think this is gonna look really cool, especially in the desert. And then I'm going to end up putting some, some sand inside to kind of make it look like, sand is just kind of drifted in. So I am going to get to work on the skull here, and then I'll bring you guys back once I have some more progress done. All right, so here is the finished skull, and we've got the bone blocks and the smooth quartz on it. So the smooth quartz is the horns up there, and then as well as the teeth. And then this right here, this is the entrance. So you basically, come in here, and then you can either choose to drop down to get to the actual farm or come out of the farm. Now, the one thing that I'm not 100% happy with on this build is the fact that the bone blocks are directional. And so we've kind of got lines all over the place. So I'm thinking about possibly randomizing how I do this. But the only problem is that then what'll happen is that we'll end up having the exposed ends of the bone blocks. So, I mean, we can't really avoid it. But I'm thinking that in order to kind of get rid of some of the kind of random, well, not really random lines, but the lines on the sides, to just kind of randomize it. And so it's a little bit more not so long lines. So that's one of the things I'm going to end up, kind of working on possibly, off camera. And then the other thing is that I need to add in the sand. So need to figure out which way the wind is blowing in the kingdom. Because with spawn, it's blowing in that direction there. So I might end up going along the same lines. And so we would end up having the sand kind of build up on this side of the skull. And there'll probably be some sand up on, different parts. And then it's not going to really be, there's not going to be a whole lot of sand buildup on this side of it. Because, with the actual skull would be kind of blocking any kind of sand buildup on this side. So that is, that project all done. Now we can get moving on to our next project. So I have a sunflower plains that is all the way over there. And we have updated to 1.15.2. So I ended up growing a whole lot of trees. I really wish I would have counted just to see just how many trees I ended up growing. Luckily we have the bone farm now. And so I had plenty of bone meal, but I finally got a bee nest. And so I was able to actually set up a little apiary up here. So if we come over here, I ended up creating a path that came around the field. And then I'm thinking of turning this right here into a burial mound. Because if you think about it, why would they just stop the farm right here unless this mound right here is actually something important? So I'm thinking about turning this into a burial mound. And then I ended up building up this path here. And so we got some supports because this kind of hangs out and doesn't, really have any support from, from the actual mountain. And so this goes up behind the waterfall. I did expand this and move it up. So we've now got 3 of the source blocks up there, and this just kind of winds all the way around. So this is going to be the beekeeper's house, and then in here, this is where the apiary is. And so we've got 4 of the hives that are in here, and I need to stop, you know, kind of whacking the air because I don't need to anger these guys. But yeah, so we've got 4 hives in here, and then we've got 1 in here as well, and this is, and I'm really wondering why it is not picking up. I'm thinking those are flying in between the blocks because there's stuff, there's a minecart down there. And for some reason, it doesn't like to pick up the honeycomb when it lands right there. I think it's because it's like right in between the 2 blocks, and so it's not, you know, not actually picking it up. But yeah, so this is the, you know, the little bee area, and we've got it, you know, got them protected so that they're not, you know, getting caught in anything and not being able to return to their hive. But this right here, this is going to be the build today. So this is going to be very similar to the actual farmhouse. The biggest difference is going to be the roof. I ended up designing a roof using the actual honeycomb block. And so that's one of the reasons why I had created the one farm to actually get the honeycombs and stuff while I'm kind of, you know, working around here. So let's go ahead and switch over to the cobblestone walls because we're going to be using these here just like we did on the farmhouse. But yeah, so this one we're going to use spruce for the support beams, and then we're going to use a lime terracotta for the walls. So let's go ahead and get these switched over here. And I want to build, you know, I kind of want to build a section on camera to kind of show you guys what it is that I'm going to end up doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there we go. And just like that. And then we're going to switch over to the dark oak stairs, and we're going to do stair, stair. So I want to kind of create a rounded shape on these. Now there's not going to be any windows on here because the actual roof is going to kind of hang down. So I'm going to get the base of the house done and then bring you guys back to build the roof. So here is the finished house part of it. So all we need to do now is the actual roof. So I ended up going around. I added in these little buttons and stuff to kind of, you know, emulate those wooden nails that they ended up using back in the day before they actually started using like actual like metal nails and stuff. And we've got I started the overhang for the roof just to make it a little bit easier for when we actually get started. We've got a nice little covered area here to protect the door, and like I said, it's small. It's very, very small. But that is all right. And so if we come over here into the back, I can show you what we got going on here. So we've got a window on the top, and then we've got the dark oak trapdoors to, you know, kind of keep the weather off of the windows. So the next step on this is to actually start building the roof. So let's go ahead and get some of this stuff onto the hotbar so I can show you what the roof is going to end up being made like. So we've got, you know, the one stair down there, and so we want to go 1, 2, and then we're going to end up putting in a stair here and a stair here, and we're just going to keep doing that. So 1, 2, and then we're going to have stair and stair, 1, 2, and then stair, and we've got one more section left. 2, and then this one is, let's see, stair there, okay. And then what we're going to be doing is actually going and grabbing the honeycomb like this. I'm going to bring it across just like that, and that's going to be the next section. And then I'm going to end up putting the dark oak trapdoors there just to basically make it a little bit more mob-proof. Because that's going to be the one problem with this roof is that, yeah, it's not quite so mob-proof. Because, you know, with the honey blocks, we've only got solid blocks. And so I wanted to figure out a way to, you know, kind of make it a little bit safer. Oop, and there we go. Like, I can't quite reach that. All right, and then we come across like so. And then what I'm going to do is go like that. And then we're going to do a little bit different. Instead of doing it upside down, we're actually going to do it just like that. And then let's grab our planks and we're going to come across like that. And then this one is going to end up being a slab to kind of bring it up. So let's come down here and let's go ahead and switch over here. So 2 like that. And then we're going to go like that. And then bring that up, and then stair, and switch back to the planks, stair, planks, and stair. So let's go ahead and come down here and take a look. So that right there, that is going to be the roof. And so I'm going to put in the other 3 sections. So the house is all complete. So as you can see, and then I added a layer of the trapdoors up on the top as well, just to kind of continue the little detail on the edge. Yeah, so we've got all of that done, and then I was really lucky. I didn't have to cut down that tree over there, and so it just kind of overhangs the roof just a little bit. So that turned out really well. And then as you can see, we've got, just a little bit of the honeycomb just kind of peeking out, adding a little bit of color as you look up. But yeah, so the roof is definitely a little bit thicker than it normally is, just for some of the fact that, we're dealing with the, solid blocks on this side. But I think that the roof came out really well. So the next project, and this isn't going to be for, for this episode, but I've brought, if I can actually get up here, I've brought some of the horses and the donkeys and stuff over here. So what I want to do is kind of create a little overhang up here as, kind of like a stables, because I did decide that I want to do the kind of the platform farms over there. And unfortunately, I have, you can just barely see the fences over there. But yeah, so the horses are currently where that build is going to be. There's still, I think, like 6 maybe over there, because I was breeding up some of the mules, and then on top of that, I had a herd of horses that were hanging out around the base, and so I ended up taming them. So I have a whole bunch of horses, so I'm going to have to find homes for all of them. And I'm thinking I may end up building a stables over by the farmhouse as well. So if we go ahead and come over here, I can show you guys the section again. I know I had talked about this in the last episode, but this right here, this is going to end up being the next big project to actually, get the terraces in, and, of course, all of the water. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a whole lot of water. And then, of course, all of the sugarcane. I don't have a whole lot of sugarcane in my stocks right now, but we can kind of work on that as I'm building the terraces. So I could build like one terrace, plant the sugarcane, and then come down to the next one, and then just kind of bring it out. And then hopefully have enough sugarcane for the entire thing. And then so with that too, we should probably end up building a house up here as well. So we've got this nice little area here that I think a house would work really well in. And then we've also got this right here. I haven't quite decided what I wanted to do, with this. Maybe we'll do some waterfalls and kind of clean up the cave just a little bit. And then maybe create like a little natural area, and then maybe build like a fish, like a giant fish or something underneath. We'll have to see, either that, or I could go and get some fish, catch like, let's see, in this area, it'll be salmon and cod. So maybe get some salmon and cod and put it in, in this little thing. So maybe this will be like a fishing pond or something along those lines. So yeah, so we got the house is going to be up here, and as well as the terraced farms that are going to be here. So that'll be for the next episode. So I definitely hope you guys have enjoyed the projects for today. This is definitely been, fun doing the skull and doing the little apiary and stuff. Definitely some things, a little out of the comfort zone, especially that skull. But yeah, I think it definitely worked. So if you guys did like this episode, then definitely hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, click the Mantis icon to subscribe, then hit the bell button to get notified when I put out additional content. Want to check out more of my videos? Try the one on the left, or you could check out the playlist on the right. That's it for now, but I'll see you guys in the next episode.